Did you also edit Blackout?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I believe in making the whole movie. It's not an ego thing. It's just that that's how I work. I want to get in there with the material. It doesn't mean that they're and when I'm producing for someone, I say, well, you might consider an editor, or we could bring an editor for a week at the end, or whatever. In other words, let's all be realistic. There are different ways to work. There's different relationships to the material. Some people can't see past it. I get it, and I'm too old to care whether I'm doing it right. I'm doing it my way. It's not the right way. It's my way. It's just like that's my experience. I make a movie. I have to be the editor because I've worked with other editors. I find it very alienating. They're just different priorities, and it's not the same zone. It's like saying, "Yeah, I'm a guitarist. I like to have other people do the guitar." And I tell them, "It's like, no, you're doing that's the. Why are you doing this? This is insane. I really don't even mean what I'm saying. Look, it's the second
Well,
Pabst. I'm already talking trash.
even
I love editors.
what you were
I am an
doing
editor.
when you started doing your editing on that 3/4 inch
Thank you. You're absolutely right.
tape. It's like, yeah, if you did that, like, why wouldn't you just?
It's my relationship to the process.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, and there's something too. It's like if you're thinking about the edit when you're shooting,
Yes.
you already know how it's going to be pieced together. That's something completely different than.
Thank you, Bert. That's
it's-
the real point.
yeah.
The other thing is, I don't. I make movies cheaply, but that's because I know how. I say we're only shooting for the edit.
Yeah.
I'm not here to have an experience and oh my god, no. I'm like, okay, we got it, and I know that I'm going to be cutting to the guy picking up the thing, so we only have to do the second half. You didn't quite get that. Let's do that again. But I know what my bridge shot is, so we're good. Okay, let's do it again, but we're only doing the second half. You see what I mean? Whereas most inexperienced directors will go, oh, let's do it again from the beginning. And I mean, I understand that, but not when it's the seventh take. We're not here to have an experience. We're here to get the fucking job done. And the experience has to be the work you've done to get there. Mm-hmm. And you're all in the zone. You got to create that by having the meetings beforehand, rehearsals if you're lucky. But just, everyone should be in a zone, and then the work actually can go quickly. I love that. I'm going to quote Woody Allen again. Nobody even knows who he is. He's been canceled, but he would rehearse all day, and then he'd shoot 2 takes, and then it's done. And you watch those movies like they're these amazing long takes. We fetishize long takes, but you could tell it was just his methodology. I mean, that's just one among many, many filmmakers who.
He would also like take a break mid-production, right? And like, I remember hearing about this. Like, he would shoot, and then they would go dark. He would edit, and then they'd come back and just get the pieces that he needed.
Well, I'm notorious for. I mean, I'll show my movie and I'll re-edit it. Well, I'll make a change or two after the world premiere. I did that with Blackout. I shot a whole other shot.
That's the director's cut.
Yeah, but the fact is like, well, it's because I don't do test screenings, so I admit that. But the point is I don't know. It's a living, breathing thing, and I love theme and variation. I don't even mind if there's different versions of a movie out there. I find it all very. It's just sort of intriguing.
Collector's items.
Yeah, and it's like it's a dialogue. I don't know. I like covers of songs, and then the irony is like, then you hate remakes. Well, because I don't hate remakes, by the way. In fact, I'm remaking Wolfman movies, but it's the point is there's nuance. You also don't trust why they're making a remake. You're like, another Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I mean, come on, guys. What are you bringing to it? It's not even... so it's confusing, but it's like porn. You can recognize the difference between porn and erotic or whatever. There's an old joke about that. And it's kind of true. You kind of got to be in the moment making judgments. There's no hard and fast rule about what's right or what's wrong. I'm talking now about things like remakes and sequels. Sometimes it's exciting and sometimes...
No, but it's also, I mean, if you want to talk about like the film industry as a machine or something like that too, there's plug and plays, and there's a difference between writing, like coming up, conceptualizing something, writing it, directing it, editing it, and you being... And then there's somebody that can only write, and they're not the filmmaker, so somebody else comes in and shoots it, and then somebody else comes in, and that's why there might be this disconnect, or that's why you need those other people, because it's not your baby.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's, and they're passing it along, kind of thing. So, there's reasons for getting different people in different times, but if it's your thing that you want to see through, then yeah, that's
Every artist has their method or whatever. Kubrick always adapted books. You think it's because he was stupid, didn't have his own ideas? No, but that's what he did. Whereas I always celebrate Taxi Driver because that's like, to me, pure cinema, meaning it was literally written for the screen. But I also reference One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a favorite movie. Even Jaws, as everybody knows, one of my favorite movies. Well, those are based on books. So there's no rules. I don't want rules. And then there are these weird things that it's like you didn't even realize it was based on something. And you're like, oh, well, that's cool.
You've just seen it so many times that it's ingrained
it's
in
just
you.
some. But the bottom line is that, and then, whatever. Then there are cliches like there are only 3 stories, or maybe there's 7. I don't remember how many there are, but I know there's very few. But the point is, look, we already said John Wick, experienced movers, same picture. But the bottom line is, I don't know what the bottom line is. There is no bottom line. It's all just like you got to be in the moment. Judge people for their intentions. I think we don't trust the companies that are making movies anymore because they're not really movie companies. That's why you romanticize these producers from the 70s who were fighting to make The Godfathers because they were actually movie makers. That's what they wanted to do when they grew up.
Yeah.
Now it's run by
algorithms.
Somebody that wants to make money.
Deciding who's getting cast.
people always wanted to make money, but they thought they had to do it by earning it as opposed to tricking people into liking something or, beating you over the head with the same old shit. So anyway, I think everybody calls it differently, but I think that's the job of the audience is to call it out when they see it and say, this doesn't seem genuine. I'm looking for authenticity. I'm looking for human connection. I'm looking for trust in my audience and my collaborators and respect, dignity. These are, as I keep saying, I guess they're old terms, but they kind of are what's the point otherwise?
I think it's changing. I mean, I think there's the younger generation sees this crap coming out and they're like, we don't like this. This is why they're, not going to theaters as much. They're looking at their own stuff on YouTube and other outlets. And it's
how could they not? They've been beaten up by late state capitalism or whatever.
Late stage capitalism.
Late stage. It's just like this dying old fucking like this dragon. It's like profit motive.
There's your next thing.
Damn, we decided it here, guys. All right, we're having a story meeting next Wednesday. Damn, this is good. Late stage capitalism, the dragon years.